Hey, hello everybody, welcome to the Sound Test Room. Today we're taking a look at setting up a project for the very first time. So this is for absolute beginners, okay? So if you're an advanced Maschine Mark III user, you really don't need to watch this video. However, if you are just getting started and would like to know some of the useful stuff for setting up, this might help you out some. Okay, so when you have a completely blank project, this is what it is. There's nothing going on. So the first thing we really want to do is get some sounds into the Maschine Mark III. Okay, so I'm using these tutorials. I'm just going to be using the standalone hardware. I'm not going to be using the software. I want to try and do everything within Maschine. So obviously it's a MIDI controller for the software, but you can do pretty much everything in here. So far, the only thing I've found that I couldn't do for my workflow is name patterns or name scenes or name the project. Everything else, absolutely no problem. So first place we would like to go would be to browser here. And this will show us everything that's available to us in Maschine. You'll see here it says one shot, and you'll see that there's a little directional arrow just next to that. There we can move through to loops or effects, instruments, sounds, so it'd be single sound sort of thing, and then groups. So to start off, we're going to stick with groups, and you can see that if we use our rotary encoders, we can choose from different groups and stuff that are included for us to use, and we can use this encoder where it says Maschine. We can scroll through the different groups that are available to us to use. Now you may have noticed that on Maschine you'll see that if we go to say Solar Breeze, there is no other menu below this encoder here. It just says Solar Breeze. But if we go to Maschine here, you will see it says all banks, Maschine 1.8 library, Maschine 2 library, or Maschine 2.5. We'll leave it on all banks. So there are different options for you to search. Okay, so what we want to do is, if we scroll through our different kits that are included, you see there's 955 kits included in the Maschine library. It would be nice if we could hear those as well, and that's really easy to do. All we need to do is hold Shift, put pre here, and this will give us a demo of that pattern. Now I'm going to load in this Abbey Road vintage kit. Okay, so I'm just going to hit load, and it's going to load that into the pads. Okay, and we're on group A. Okay, so it's created a group for us. As soon as we've loaded on our pads, we have group A. Now, if I hit shift here, you will see that there's a little button that says plus patterns. If you have that switched on, it will load the pattern in for you as well, and it will give you several patterns, but just for now, let's not have that. We can show that in another video. So now we have our drum kit. And that might be a good idea to have us set up the tempo and things like this. So this plugin instance button here, so plugin, this is super important. This is the best place to keep pushing this button, because here you will find you can add effects to an entire group of sounds, to the overall master, like maximizers, compressors, limiters, etc., or individual sounds. And if you notice here, as I change this sound, the sounds will change here as well, and we can see that it's a sampler instrument that's been used to make these sounds. Okay, but you will also see there it says tempo. Well, your 120 BPM is the tempo we are set at. So you want to set the tempo maybe at something that you would like your groove to be in, whatever it is. A good way to do this, okay, is if we hold shift and tap and metro. So anything with shift held is the little thing underneath. So you can see that if we hold shift and hit variation, it would navigate. Shift and duplicate would be double, or scene would be section. But let's hold this where it says metro, and that turns on the metronome for us while we're we're going to be, you know, recording our beats and stuff. But if we hit play, you'll hear a metronome. So now you could go to tempo, press tempo, and use the 4D encoder to set the tempo to something that you might like to work with. And then that's done. We can press stop now. And we can also press this. At this point, it may also be a good idea to show you these other 3 buttons that say swing and volume. These 3 buttons are really important, okay? You're gonna find these really useful. Swing, obviously, if we push swing, you will see that when I turn the 4D encoder, the swing rate will change. See, master swing. We can leave it on 0, but you can set it to whatever you want, or you can wait till your beat's playing and then set it. And then also volume. This is the master volume for the entire, all the groups, patterns, everything that's playing. It's just the master volume. And if we got volume highlighted, we can see we can change our volume for our overall project here, okay? So we can unhighlight this again now. So we maybe want to now set up a pattern, okay? So we might want to record some stuff in, which should be a good thing to do right this moment. So if I hit pattern, you will see that if I hit pattern and let go, it goes away. These are the mode buttons, and you want to be able to keep these open sometimes. So I want to keep pattern open for now. So I'm going to hit pattern and hit this little button that says pattern underneath, and pattern will highlight. And now if I press it again, it will go away. And if I press it again, it will stay pinned. So this is called mode pinning, okay? And it's remembered for each and every single mode switch. If you hold events and you want events held, you can do this, and then you can hit it again, or you can go between pattern and events and they'll stay open. Let's stick with pattern. You can just start to record in Maschine. It's absolutely fine, okay? But this is what I like to do, and there are tons of ways you can work with Maschine, but this is what I like to do. First thing to do is I like to go to pattern, and I like to hit create, so I can create a new pattern, and you'll see it will appear there. And then you'll see that it says the length is auto. So basically, if I press record now, or shift and record, which gives me a counting, which is another good way to work, it will record indefinitely, well, up to 256 bars. That's massive, okay? However, what I like to do is use the auto and turn this and set it to 4 bars. Okay, so it'll go up, it'll double each time you change it. Okay, so I'm going to leave this at 4 bars. If I wanted 3 bars, I would hold shift, and then I can change this in very fine increments, you see, and this is pretty much the same for everything in Maschine. Even the tempo, like say for instance, the tap tempo, if you tap a tempo in, it will maybe be 120.68, and you say you want it 121, where you can just hold shift, turn your tempo, and like we did when we were setting our tempo, and you get fine control. Okay, so now we have a pattern length of 4 bars. Let's exit pattern mode and let's go into events mode, okay? And now we can play our kit. And it's going to give us our 4 bars because that's what we've set in pattern mode, okay? So let's just do this. Let's hold shift and record, and that will give us a 4 bar counting. Okay, so okay, super sloppy time in there, super sloppy. So what we can do now is we could use the events editor to edit the MIDI, but this is going to get too complicated now, and it's a little bit for further down where we show you how to do the events editing in MIDI and stuff like that. But it's very cool. You don't need to go to the software. It's great. This is my point. I'm trying to teach myself everything inside Maschine. Okay, right. Let's see where are we at now? Quantizing our pattern. So my pattern was a bit sloppy, as you can hear. I will point out actually that at this point, if you just press play, it will only play from where the playhead position is. If you want to play from the beginning, just hit restart. Let's quantize this. We can have it playing while it's quantizing. Hold shift and we can either quantize by 50% or quantize 100%. Let's quantize 100%. And these will have moved on the grid. You probably won't have seen them, but they will have moved to... Let's put some hi-hats in now. Just hit record again, it's fine. We can watch and wait till it comes around. I find working like this is really easy. And it's probably pretty close, but we'll quantize it anyway. Okay, so there's we have a pattern, and if we look in our pattern there, we can see it. Now, here we might want to create another pattern. So I'm not going to go on for much longer with this tutorial, guys. I just wanted to give you an idea of some of the cool stuff you can do. Okay, but we'll have a look at the mixer in a sec for the group. So let's just duplicate this pattern. We can do a couple of things. We can duplicate it here, which will give us another pattern. We can hit double, which will make that pattern 8 bars long, but it will keep the MIDI data for it. So you'll have an 8-bar pattern instead of a 4-bar pattern. But let's hit duplicate. And that will give us pattern 2, which will be an exact copy at the moment of pattern 1. So we can play that. Let's go to our events mode now. And let's record some extras in there. So let's hit this. We can wait till it tracks background, or we can stop it and hit. Terrible timing, so again, quantize. So far you've recorded 2 patterns. Okay, so you've made one pattern, duplicated it. Now we're going to have a look at the actual mixer for this actual group. Okay, so if we hit mixer here, and this is where you can also spend lots of time. Mixer. Let's play the pattern. And we can see our different mixer channels here. We can go further forward and see stuff we did here. Here we can maybe turn some of these toms down. Page back. You can maybe say, take the kick out. And here's another cool thing. This is a good one to know as well. This is the mixer for this kit. Okay, the entire group, the whole kit that we've been playing. You get that, right? You'll see that on the rotary, the 4-dimensional encoder, there are a couple of LEDs highlighted. Now, sometimes there'll be 4 of these. This means that we can either go this way, and once we get to the end, we can't go no further, so we can just keep going backwards and forwards. But we can go all the way back to kit 1, pad 1. Don't know if you can see that with the video lighted. However, if we push up, it takes us to our group level. So this is the group level mixer. So as we add more groups in like next tutorial or something, as we add more groups, you will see more things appear here, and we can mix the entire, mix your entire project then. So you have various levels going back to this level, which is the entire kit level, going up, which is the group level, which means we can mix the entire kit. And if we go back down, I'll show you something else. We can also, if we just push the rotary encoder, it takes us into pan mode. and then we can push it again, and you can see what what it's doing down the bottom there. Look. So central, and then hit it again to exit back to normal volume control mode. Okay guys, I'm going to leave it there for this video because otherwise it's going to get too confusing, but I covered everything I wanted to in this. For the next one we'll add another group, and I'll also show you how you can add effects and things to you know, individual things, and then we can go through the different pad modes as well. There's more cool stuff we can do. The workflow is amazing. You can almost adapt it to yourself, and this is how I like to move. I will just nip quickly back now to pattern. As you said, you can see pattern 1 and pattern 2. I won't get into the arranger view yet, but at the moment we've got one scene, and that one scene has 2 patterns. Okay, there are other modes here like song mode and ideas mode. I am in ideas mode at the moment, and that's how I like to construct my tracks, but we can get into that in other videos. Guys, thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, or please consider supporting the Sound Test Room by becoming a patron at Patreon. There are links in the description below. It'll cost you like $1 a month or something, and it really, you know, guys, it really does help. If you're not subscribed, subscribe already, and yeah, I will see you guys later. So Maschine MK3, very basic stuff. Just loading a sound in, you know, that kind of thing. Before I go, this is very useful as well. Whatever mode you're in here, this kind of tracks along your beats and bars. So if you're not in kind of events mode and can't see what's going on, say you were in, I don't know, browser mode, you can still see. You can still see the position of your like pattern over its 4 bars or whatever, how many bars you've got. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you later. Ta-ta.